Well, thank you. I always love coming and talking to you guys, and you always fill a room. So we, as candidates, we appreciate that. But let me just tell you really simply why I'm running for governor, and then I want to tell you something that happened to me recently that I think really illustrates how important this race is. So I got in the race about 9 months ago, and I got in for a really simple reason. To take power away from government and to give it back to the people of Minnesota where it belongs. Because we have watched the past, I would say, decade or so, just an out-of-control trend where government is taking too much, and it's spending too much, and it's doing too much, and that will change when I'm governor. It's the reason I'm running. And I'm not going to go down the list of policy prescriptions to get there, whether you're talking about immigration or taxes or the Met Council or whatever it is. Again, you can read that, but I'll boil it down to something really simple. We're going to change the attitude in government, the culture in government, from that of controlling and directing and in many cases bullying people to actually serving the people who pay our salaries. And if there's a government employee who can't get on board with that, whether they're in the DNR or the PCA or the Department of Commerce or the Department of Transportation, if there's a government employee who refuses to buy into that, they're not going to survive the Johnson administration. And I suspect that means we're going to have to clean some house in our agencies. But that is the only way we're going to change the culture. And that is what I will wake up every single morning with the goal to do. Turn government into a service organization rather than an organization that tries to control people. I do want to share with you, though, a little story. And the story is getting dated now, and I've shared it a couple times. But it happened about a month ago when I was Christmas shopping for my wife Sandy 2 days before Christmas, which I'm impressed with, by the way. That's better than normal. And I was at the mall. And I went into a store and I saw somebody that I hadn't seen for a while, so I went up and we talked and chatted a little bit, and she introduced me to the woman who was on the other side of the counter from her, who was helping her. The woman's name was Rebecca. She was a young woman. She wasn't what I would call our typical demographic as conservative Republicans. She was probably 22 or 23 years old. And my friend introduced me and said, "Hey, this is Jeff Johnson. He's running for governor." And Rebecca said, "Oh, I know you. I saw your commercial where you crashed the party at the governor's mansion," which was our announcement video. She said, "I'm voting for you." Now, I hate to admit that I was a little surprised by that, but I was a little surprised by that. And so I engaged her and we talked, and I eventually asked her, "What was it about that video that made you interested in my campaign?" And she said, "Well, I've never voted before, and we probably disagree on a bunch of things like abortion and LGBT issues," and she went down a list of things that we indeed did disagree on. But she said, "Those things aren't all that important to me." She said, "I'm a single mom with a 5-year-old daughter." Maybe it was a 6-year-old daughter. She said, "We live in a crappy apartment in Minneapolis. My daughter goes to a school that's not very good in a pretty dangerous neighborhood, but I can't afford to give her anything better than that. I work this job full-time, and then a lot of nights I'm a waitress at a bar, so my daughter spends a lot of her time with her grandma and in an in-home daycare that I'm not real excited about, but with the help of government, that's what I can give her." And she said, "The only thing that matters to me in my life, the only thing that matters is that she doesn't turn out like I did." Which kind of makes your heart skip a beat, right? Because she was created in God's image just like anyone else in this room, regardless of what she thinks. But she went on and said, "You know, everything that's gone wrong in my life, I want to go right for her, and I want her to have opportunities that I never had." And she said, "I watched your commercial, the video, and I heard you say that you're not going to get distracted by unimportant things. You're going to give people more control over their lives, and the most important thing to you is that every single Minnesotan has more opportunities for a better life." And she said, "I actually believed you, and it's all that matters to me." That's what we get to give to people when we win in November. We get to give them some hope, some opportunity, some more freedom. And the Democrats don't get that. They've become so obsessed with their ridiculous, fringy, extreme issues like protecting illegal immigrants or violent protesters or telling us what bathroom to use, that they've completely lost track of what matters to real Minnesotans, especially struggling Minnesotans. And there are a lot of struggling Minnesotans out there. We get to do something about that. And that's why I am so excited about this campaign. Because if we can share that message, and if a person can share that message in a way that actually reaches non-Republicans, we're not just going to win in November. More importantly, we are going to be able to make life better in real, tangible ways for millions of Minnesotans, like Rebecca. That's why I'm so excited for this election. That's what we get to give to people. And I just hope that as you listen to all of us and watch us in the coming weeks, that I'm able to earn your support. I'm seeking your endorsement. I will abide by your endorsement because I believe it matters. And I hope you have a great evening. Thank you for having us all tonight.